Today, I want to remind you that we are all interdimensional beings and have been for a very long time. The universal construct is multiple different dimensional realities communicating even in the third density through pineal function. Once your antenna is open, you are open to a universal plethora of communication, of relationships, of energetic relationships, of energetic embodiment. It comes from all over. You really gain access to all of this by fine-tuning your pineal function and fine-tuning your antenna, through meditation. So meditation is very important, and I keep up with this practice every day. Every day I develop my connection deeper and deeper with my own verified sources. But keep in mind, you are the key. You are the conscious key to interdimensional reality. So in order to fine-tune your experience, you have to understand that it's all in existence all at once. It's all open for interpretation and communication all at once. You, as the key, are the receiver of the messages, and what you choose to do with those messages, how you choose to act in accordance with the guidance being given, defines how your reality shapes. I know that's a lot, but that's also why I stick to a verification process of multiple sources of light, because I chose the light. I realize the other side is still there. It's still in the construct of reality, but I choose to dictate my own terms, which means, in a sense, I always had the choice. I just didn't know it. Free will is still very much in existence, regardless of the 3D construct you're choosing to believe. It's very much in existence. So open your mind up. Be open, be receptive. Start building an interdimensional communications network, and you're going to see how the perceived general reality is just not the same of what's actually going on. Being a channel, being a medium, being a psychic, being all these things, it opens you up to an entirely different understanding about the construct of reality. And now you have the opportunity to really choose you, to know that you are the most important person in your world. This is a gift, this is a divine gift, but we all possess it. We just have to activate it. Decalcify today. Use frequency to decalcify your pineal function so your brain can properly work again. This is going to open you up to an entirely different experience. You become an interdimensional being. Even in a third density physical construct, you can embody 5D consciousness. So what that means is we create our own reality through what we choose to let guide us through it. And if every day you have a structured system like I do, every night meditation and processing, messages received, every morning wake up, gather your thoughts, take some time to yourself, be alone, no social media, no picking up the phone right away. Morning is the time to get your brain function properly processing. So you take the first 15 minutes up to an hour. Sit there, be in silence, be comfortable, have a cup of coffee. Let your brain rework itself from being in the sleep state to an active awakening. And allow yourself to be put into a new sort of brain function, because it is a process. It's an everyday process. This takes maintenance. This takes discipline. So having all sorts of external influences going on around you first thing in the morning is not the way to go. What you need to do is learn how to revert your brain function into a properly receptive mentality. But all this really starts to come into play after you have learned how to become receptive, decalcifying the pineal function of the brain and learning how to activate your antenna. Then you can truly see that in silence, you are receiving divine guidance. Check your sources, verify, and don't be afraid to test the universe. Because if you're receiving say there's the Masonic belief that there are 33 dimensions in the construct of reality, okay? Now say all of them are trying to communicate with you all the time. You're getting messages from everywhere. Now it's your responsibility to raise your vibration, your frequency, to find the light and be of the light. So you have to do that to fine-tune your key so you're getting the right guidance. In the beginning, there's darkness. You're getting access to lower vibrations and lower densities. You're also getting access to the light, but it all starts as just whispers. And during the beginning of my awakening, when the restoration of my pineal function of my brain really started to reactivate, I started getting messages from people, from all sorts of interdimensional sources of the reality construct. I started getting messages from everywhere, and it felt like overload. So what I had to do is fine-tune my own process, maintain discipline in developing my discernment, which means discerning which energies are associated with what communication, and I had to actively choose what sources were valid and helpful for me. But I also had to do the work to explore more of reality. So I had to not be afraid to encounter all of these different dimensional realities. I had to not be afraid to communicate openly with all of these different sources and just choose what worked best for me. Once you realize what free will actually is, you can start to implement it in your day-to-day life, and you can start choosing how you want your reality to be constructed. Fact is, we're living a physical experience, but it's all being guided from a spiritual source. So the key to living a limitless existence is to find a limitless light source. And that's what I did, and that's why this globe is happening. That's why my life is shaping out in a completely different direction. It's because I'm following divine guidance. I actually gained access to my higher self and started embodying the energies associated with that. Energetic embodiment is a whole other form of practice, and we can get into that later. But the thing is, we are living a physical existence, but we are having a spiritual experience through this physical existence. And if you check and verify your sources, play with the universe, test the universe a little bit, you can fine-tune your conscious key, giving you access to true free will. Then all it is strengthening the connections, building the relationships and the trust with those sources, and showing the universe what side you choose to follow, what portion of reality best suits your needs. The fact of the matter is that everybody has the opportunity to be part of the 1% once they choose it. Free will exists. Have a good day.